2, 1. What's up, my people? We are live. We got me, Kyrie's Clark, and then we got the one and only DC Soap Sanctuary.
Is this
Well,
members live?
no, this is a regular live.
Okay, regular, regular. Gotcha. Go ahead.
All right, now getting right, we're gonna get right up into this. Is Trina wrong for being a friend to Ava on General Hospital? Because this conversation has been going on all throughout the week because one commenter on Albert's channel said, Trina's not Josslyn's best friend because after the fact she became friends with the woman who's responsible for Josslyn's brother's death. I'm like, first of all, the world did not revolve around Josslyn Jacks. And Josslyn Jacks is growing up surrounded by a bunch of criminals. And um, she she may be mad at Sonny because Sonny left Carly. That's the only reason she's mad at Sonny. But guess what? She's kissing Jason's ass 2.2 seconds. But my main issue with this is so so what? Like Trina being friends with Trina really did help develop Ava's character for a while. Like Ava needed a new tie to stay around. I mean, she's Avery's mother. We know that, but Avery's still a little girl. So they're not ready to age Avery just yet. They're not ready for that level of drama. And Ava doesn't really have any friends or any connections to the show. So naturally, Trina would be someone that she can confide in and be there because Ava shows vulnerability to Trina that she doesn't really show with everybody else. But everybody else, she's this badass, tough as nails woman because Ava likes it that way. Until you really get to know her, that's when she'll drop her layers. So I feel like Trina balances Ava out, and on top of that, um, Trina's allowed to be friends with whoever she wants to be friends with. She don't need Josslyn's permission. So Trina and Josslyn may have been best friends, but in my opinion, they were like it was middle school. Okay, so naturally, when it's not like Ava and thing became best friends right after that. That Trina held back the evidence to keep Ava out of jail. That didn't happen. Like Trina didn't even meet Ava until years later after the fact. So it's like I don't feel that Trina should have to hold back the connections that Ava has been providing to her, whether it's in the art with the art world connection and whatever else. I don't feel like Trina should have to hold that back just because old Josslyn is in her feelings. But what do you think, DC?
I think you make some really good points. Like when I saw the scene, I definitely think that Jocelyn and Trina's friendship needed to go to a new dimension and need to be challenged. That's how we know relationship or friendship is good on a soap is how challenged it's been. Like even Anna and Sunny's friendship has been tested with this whole Jagger thing, right? Their history that's based on Robin. How strong really is it now? Now it's been tested. But with Trina and Jocelyn, the biggest thing was with those two is that I feel like Jocelyn didn't have much of a place to talk because Trina's still friends with her, even though her godfather is the man who shot her father. Isn't Jason the one that shot Curtis? Has that
No,
been established yet?
that hasn't
Because
been.
wasn't Jason the gunman who shot him? That was meant for Sonny, but he did a straight bullet.
No, I don't remember that part. I
So
know
I feel like,
Jason was there in Puerto Rico, but that was when he
oh,
shot him.
that's right, that's right,
So no, that
that's right.
Jason wasn't the one that shot Kurt.
But the thing is, I just feel like is that Sonny has been threatening. Sonny's always threatened Ava's life for whatever the reason is. But I feel like at the end of the day is that I understand Trina's position, and Trina's actually in a hard place for not even just Jocelyn, but because of her cousin TJ. That's his baby. So it's really a hard position that she's put in for a whole lot of reasons. And I'm happy that she stood her ground because Ava needs alliances on the shows. Like even her scene with Nina shows you that like I hope they bring those two back together as friends because I don't know why the writers felt the need to disrupt that. I wasn't cool with it because you can see that even Nina was like, listen, like I feel for you. And Nina had compassion for Ava. She had like a true, genuine compassion for her. So, which I appreciate that. So, to me, I'm totally Team Trina on this one. I felt like at the end of the day, like Jocelyn's godfather is a hitman, and she'll stand 10 toes down for that man. So why can't she stand 10 toes down for the mafioso that was Ava? That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. LaShanta says, stop hating on Josh Curtis. No, I will never stop hating on Josslyn. Like I said, if I was writing that scene, I would have been a new employee. I would have been like, you know what? Let me get become a new recurring character for today. And Josslyn would have slipped on some black ice when she was talking about, if it was me and you coming, I wouldn't have been the one that fell out of the window. I'd been like, watch, you're about to fall on your head right about now. I would have made sure Jocelyn fell on some black ice and hit her head if that was Ava. But Ava just wanted to laugh at her. Jocelyn is no threat to Ava, not one bit. I'm just saying, Ava Jerome has been around the block, but long before Jocelyn was even born. And then Darby says, I think Jason was the shooter for the gunman who shot Dante. Oh, yeah. Hey, Darby. Hey, Dewan. Hey, Kaiwan. No, that was Valentine. That was. Oh, so he thinks it was Valentine that shot Curtis or involved with who shot Curtis.
That's the thing with the Valentine thing is like, Valentine is currently on Disney Channel at the moment, filming his pilot. But I feel like um, Anna now has to hold the man she loves accountable, right? She's basically dating the second coming of Duke Lavery. This is her issue with her and Duke Lavery is that her and Duke are always on opposite sides of the law. Now her and Valentine are on opposite sides of the law. I'm noticing a pattern here with Ava, and not with Anna. And she was with Luke Spencer at one point in time, who was always on opposite side of the law. We're noticing a pattern here with Anna, right? We're noticing a huge pattern here, 3 times in a row, ladies and gentlemen. But I feel like with Valentine see, this is the thing. When Ava knew that Valentine was switching Sonny's meds, that was her time to be honest. Literally, they could have gotten information out of the pharmacy guy. It would have been a wrap. She would have been cleared. The fact that she didn't say anything and was like, "Let me just take it," it was stupid. It was really stupid because in a sense, she still did switch the meds. Technically, if she told the pharmacy guy to put it to 0, so technically she still did do that. It's just that I feel like the writers are able to clear her because she wasn't the initial person who started it at this point in time. That's why Sonny's like, I'm trying to save your life. And I'm like, okay, let's see where this is going to go.
I'm still wondering, did Jason tell Sonny that Ava ordered his medication to 0?
I think he told, I don't think he even, no, I don't think he even mentioned anything because Anna asked him not to say anything yet to Valentine. It's not to mention the Sunday it was Valentine yet.
Well, actually, no, because Jason did tell Sonny Valentine switched his medication. So
Oh, he did? Okay, okay. He
Sonny
did, okay.
knows about the Valentine part, but I don't think, but he never mentioned anything about Ava also telling the pharmacist to switch to 0. Because I'm wondering why Jason decided to keep that a secret.
I think he kept a secret that and Valentine's location because I think he had a lead on Valentine's location. And those are the two things he kept a secret.
You generally don't know where Valentine is, I don't think.
Right. And I mean, I think with Ava too is that even if Sonny killed her, how does he think his daughter was going to respond to that? Like, did he not learn from AJ Quartermain? Did he not learn from that debacle? Did he not learn from that debacle? You know what I'm saying? Like how that turned out. But I digress.
But if he actually think about it, Avery has Ava and Sonny's blood running through her veins. So if you kill Avery's mother and wait until she becomes a teenager and see how that will serve Sonny, I can guarantee you Avery would turn into. There's no way they could botch that writing. Avery would turn into an adult version of into a young version of Ava, and will probably shoot and kill one of her siblings if Sonny kills her mother. I'm almost more than sure than that.
She's a Jerome, so she might call her Uncle Julian or her Aunt Olivia for some backup to take Sonny out.
Exactly. And then while trying to take out Sonny, she's going to take out one of her siblings.
Exactly. Let me ask you this. What was your thoughts on Brad's cameo this week on GH?
Brad is not really needed back here on General Hospital. I mean, he was really trying to connect with Terry of all people. And I'm like, no, Brad, you just, like, the writers we really don't need the Brad character back, in my honest opinion of that. Because
No, go ahead.
I thought he was working with Miss Wu. So what, Miss Wu family is sick of him?
See, that's the thing too. I just feel like the time to have made Brad apply for a spot back at GH was when the whole Miss Wu thing was happening, like over a year ago. and they missed the mark on that. And I feel like with Brad, like when he was on this week, I was like, oh my god, I forgot about Brad. I forgot he was even a character on the show. I really forgot about him. Seriously forgot about him. So when they brought Brad back this week, I'm like, okay, is there a point to this? Because the thing is with GH, you hope that there's a point to what they're doing, but then down the line you might find out there was actually no point. So I don't feel like it's intentional like the way they write on YNR, B&B, or in Days. So GH, I'm like, I hope there's a point to Brad being back, but I don't think there would be. People okay, so Dewan says Brad disgusting, but Brad hasn't done anything worse than any of the characters are currently on our screen. And Brad did make a point, like he never did those switching of the like all that debauch in the lab was never his own accord. He was always coerced or blackmailed into it, which is a difference. I give the man that.
And then Kaiwan says, I think they're turning Jagger into AJ Quarterman. He's swallowing David shit like crazy. What do you
It's
think?
so weird because this Jagger is like, it's not the Jagger I know. I mean, I've never watched GJ Time, but I've seen past clips. I know who Jagger was when it was played by Antonio Sabato Jr. And it's night and day for me, honestly. It's very night and day. I couldn't even see Antonio Sabato's character doing this stuff. So it's very weird for me. I feel like this is not Stone Cage. This is a whole different character.
Um, Sean says, Kyrus, ask DC if he thinks the writers always wanted Josh with Spencer.
I think they did, but I think when they saw the popularity of Sprina, and I think one of the biggest things about Sprina was it was an interracial couple. That gets a lot of people excited. It's new, it's fun, it's fresh. You don't know where this is gonna go. Cultural differences. You know what I mean? I think that it was meant to always be a love triangle: Josslyn, Cameron, and Spencer. Yes, and we never got that, and which I was okay with. I was totally okay with that. But I think now they're trying to recreate that with Geo. But Geo, I just feel like this character should have came in a very different role than one that this man is given. Because there's the thing about actors and actresses; they're probably really good at what they do, but if you don't write well for them, it's not gonna come off right. Like I think the person who played Liza Colby in All My Children, when she went to go play Tangi in Guiding Light, it was a mess. It was like, who? Like, what is this character? It didn't hit the same way. And you got to have the writing right. If you don't have that right on the show, it's not going to pan out the way you want it to. Like even Nico and All My Children. Nico and All My Children was an okay character. But when Nico went to Port Charles and became Sunny, he blew up. The writing was there. The writing was there. That's the difference.
And then Dewan says, this Jagger is ripped, bro.
Yeah, he does look good. He do look good.
And then LaShanta says, I'm done with the Ashford family. Look, all the Ashford family could
What
go
did they do?
straight to hell right about now, except for Stella, of course, because
What did they do?
Stella. But I still want TJ to get stabbed in his testicles so he can't have no more babies. Okay?
What
He
did he
had
do?
a baby. No, he treated Christina like crap that whole pregnancy. I don't forgive him for it. So in a way, maybe if TJ and Molly should have been like, yeah, Christina's a little pain in the ass, but you know what? Let's try to be her confidant. Let's try to listen to her out for these 9 months. Then maybe she would have been more enticed and felt more bonded and more grounded instead of going to, like, even though Molly had literally just had to walk Christina through that subpoena. Maybe if instead of barging into Thing's room, maybe if he would have made her comfortable throughout this pregnancy, he'd been like, no, let me think about this. I already bothered Molly about this, but TJ, I'm freaking out for the moment. Then maybe Christina could have confided in TJ a little bit, and this could have been a different, more traditional storyline route of Messy. Christina falling for TJ,
But
TJ developing a little bit of feelings for Christina. That would
they
have been.
wanted to, but they had the whole Blaze mess going on there. And Blaze just like left in the middle of all this. It's like, what was all that point of all this? And you just gonna have to leave right there at this. I didn't really get that from the writers. I think with TJ was trying to stay in his lane. He knew that this was Molly family, so he wanted Molly to handle her. And honestly, I would have done the same thing too, because it's not gonna look right if TJ does it. It's better that Molly handles her. And I think TJ had his suspicion about Christina, which I did too, because I think Christina was impulsive about doing this. Oh, I want to be your surrogate. It's better for me, guys. She just want to be a surrogate because she don't got nothing else to do. And now she had Blaze and she mixed all this other stuff. It's like now it's like, oh, this is my baby now. Like she changed her mind. They should definitely have had her sign a legal agreement from the jump, because stuff like that. And here's the thing: even at the funeral, it was sad when they said Irene Marie. Adela is a better name. Irene Marie
Bella
just
is a
seems.
much better name.
And the thing is, that is Molly's grandmother too, so I feel like that could have worked. But Christina started to get possessive, and I was shocked that they had Christina miscarry the baby, well, they having the baby die. But this was actually good because it was a good build up. We didn't see this coming. We thought the baby was gonna be born. It was gonna be more of a custody battle, but no, the writers like, nah, we're not doing that. And this is actually a better fallout because we're really actually, I now actually feel a true genuine rift between the Davis sisters, and I feel like, also at the same time seeing this is that we're seeing Alexis being torn between her two daughters. And honestly, I am team TJ and Molly. I am, because in the day they set the tone, and TJ was tired of Christina. Christina really messed up what they had going on. Nobody told her to go to Ava's house. She should have stayed at home and stayed at her seat.
TJ
Uh,
should have put it. No, TJ should have grown his balls out and told Molly from the beginning. No, I don't care that she's your sister. I'm not using her as my surrogate. If that's really how he felt about her, but I feel like it's ridiculous how he looks his nose down at Christina. Like if you ask me, I'm thinking maybe his issue with Christina could be that she's LGBT. Like, because what other reason why he has to look down his nose at her, even before the whole surrogate thing, he was just waiting for the moment. Any chance he got, he was just dogging Christina. But also that is Molly's fault because Molly allowed that to happen for a little bit. For a little bit, like when you talk too much about your siblings to your partner, like
that part.
you can't just expect it because I said that a long time ago. I'm like, it don't matter what family issues that they have. Men, if you are with this woman, do not get involved in in your partner's drama with their siblings because it is not going to come across well. Like I'm trying to tell them it's not gonna end. It's not gonna end well for you. You're just gonna have a bunch of headache, and then you're just gonna be the jackass in the end of it. Once that fight is over, or once you say something bad about her sister, then she's gonna be ready to fight you.
But
And
the thing is, Christina had nothing left to lose, though, and that's I think what TJ looked at, because you look at him and Molly, they're professionals. Like they got something going on. Even Sam got her PI business. What was Christina doing? She was looking for something to do. She was looking for something to do.
well,
Like,
she had her little shelter. I mean, her center, her youth center.
okay, she did. But the thing is, this is that like this was all established while the pregnancy was going on, and I felt like I understand TJ's frustration because even at the cemetery, he was like, "Are you okay? I'll just make sure you're okay as a doctor." And then when she got up, it's like he grabbed his little book and he looked at mine. He was like, he had this look of disgust on his face, like, "Yeah, let's get out of here." Like he didn't want to save her. You could tell he was disgusted with Christine in that moment. And I felt that disgust when she was like, "I loved her too," and the teacher's like, "Yeah, let's get out of here." Like
Mm-mm.
if I have to stay here one more moment, she gonna get it from me. It's just like
No, it was just
I
total. At
get
the
it,
end of the day, Christina is that baby's mother, whether they like it or not. Because at the end of the day,
but
Christina
that's not
doesn't.
what she signed up for, though.
It don't matter, but that's what ended up happening because they knew from the beginning, though. They knew from the beginning that she had all the legal rights. Alexis warned them, but in the state of New
She
York,
did.
she's
She did.
using her egg. So legally, this baby is Christina's. So therefore, the only way that this could legally happen is through adoption. And guess what? With adoption, you have 30 days to change your mind. Christina changed her mind before the baby was born. So at the end of the day, that's their mother. That's the baby's mother. The baby's dead now, especially. So that's her her mother. That's
And that was the thing I didn't like that TJ did. That he was mad at Alexis because when they were in the when she first got rushed to
he had the
GH,
nerve to call her a coward.
she I didn't like that because Alexis like, I warned you for that, and he's like, is that all you could say? And I'm like, yeah, like she did warn you guys, like she did warn you, like this is because I think the thing is Alexis knows her daughters. She knows her daughters very well. She
Yeah.
saw us coming from a mile away, and TJ saw it coming from a mile away. I think TJ agreed to it because he knew that Molly couldn't carry the child necessarily right away at that moment, and he didn't want her to feel bad as a mother, and he was trying to placate her as his partner. She's not even the wife for his partner, and
Yeah.
so he didn't want her to feel bad for not being able to have a child because this was biologically TJ's kid. and he is discussed with Christina because Christina did put the baby's life in danger, which shows what kind of mother she would have been. I mean, she had no reason to go to Ava's apartment. You really think Ava was going to say, you know what, Christina, you make a whole lot of sense. Let me go ahead and drop this suit. You make a whole lot of sense, girly. That was not happening. And
No.
that goes to show how naive Christina was, to be perfectly honest.
And then talk about,
And
oh, I went over there to protect my family. I don't think so. Please, that was
so
not.
Christina's in a naivete. And now we have Rick back. I'm curious to see. Rick and Sonny were in a good place the last time he was in Port Charles. They were in a good place, the brothers. Where are they going to be at now?
Oh, I heard. Well, I already have a feeling about that based off rumblings that they're about to be arguing. So
Not rumblings.
Molly is
But
very strong-headed and wants what she wants. Like, and that's my thing though. I feel like this surrogacy stuff was just rushed and unnatural. Like at the end of the day, Molly and TJ are nowhere near pushing 40. So they had plenty of times. Like they gave Molly a real life condition that's actually treatable, so she can have a baby later down the line. It just would have taken a while. Would have took some treatments, but she just. I feel like Molly is a spoiled brat in a way. Like everything
mm,
goes her way in life academically and her relationship with TJ. Like she never really got told no like that or like something that she can't have. So that's why she wants a baby so emergency. But I'm like, sister, you're still in your 20s. So like, why are we?
but see, Molly puts in the work. Molly has always been the healthier of the two sisters. She puts in the work because Christina has always been. She went after Kiefer because he was a rich boy in school. We know how that turned out. You know, she went after her professor. We know how that turned out. She went after Shiloh because he was a cute guy, and she was doing nothing about him. We know how that turned out. She went after Blaze. We see how that just turned out. So Christine has never really been intentional as a character in what she's done. She went after Connie Falconeri's son, which that was actually moderately healthy relationship. Her few healthy relationships she had was with what was his name? His name was Trey. He was Connie Falconeri's son.
Molly can definitely have a baby. She can. That's a real life condition that's treatable. She could have a baby down the line. So like, I'm like, this chick is like still in her 20s. Like this is just ridiculous. Really forced surrogate storyline.
And I feel for Christina though. I feel for her. I feel for Christina, but it's like I feel both sides. I felt Christina's pain because it's like even at the wedding, it's like not the wedding, but the funeral. I said wedding, the funeral. She was ignored. She was totally ignored. Like when they said Irene Marie, Ashford, and her looking at her face like Irene Marie, what the hell? Her name was Adela. Like the hell is that? Like she had no rights, and I felt for her. But then I felt for TJ's disgust, and TJ had a lot of disgust, and I understood where he's coming because you could tell he wanted to take that little funeral program and throw it at Christina's face when she was on the floor. I loved her too. Like he wanted to say, "Shut up!" and just throw it at her. He couldn't. He couldn't do it because like that's Molly's sister. So I gotta keep it. I gotta keep it cute. I gotta keep it cute right now. But
And
he wanted.
and even if that wasn't her sister, if Sonny found that out, he would fuck TJ up. We all know
He
that.
would have. He would have. But TJ played. He couldn't say anything. TJ wanted to, and I think he would have been
Hey
every right
Ron
to
and hey Francis.
because she really endangered the life of that baby falling out that window, and man, I mean, I feel for Christina too because that was traumatic. You fell out of a window, you lost your baby. Man,
But
it's
like
so hard.
LaShanta said, Molly want everything instant. It's her way or the highway. So
How is this Molly's fault, guys? Let's
it
talk
is
about that.
all
How is that Molly's
Molly's
fault?
fault because she could have waited until she. Because even like when that fake ass surrogate Andrea wanted to act like, well, first of all, who I still don't trust, by the way. I still think she had that baby somewhere. So that storyline is definitely, it writes itself that that surrogate didn't really miscarry because they did not show that miscarriage. They did not show. They said, "Oh, she had it at Mercy Hospital." Yeah, right. So no, she had that baby, but Molly just wouldn't chill out and just learn and just wait for that process. And then even with the whole when they, oh, hey Laura B, how are you? Um, even the reason Christina was the egg donor because Molly and TJ didn't want to wait 6 months to get to find a different egg donor. They would have had to wait on the registry for
These
6
comments are
weeks.
sending me. Are we really making this Molly teacher's fault? These
It
comments right now are
is.
sending me. Here's the thing. Just like how you said Molly could have waited, Christina could have waited till they got to the courtroom to confront Ava. She didn't have to go all the way up to the
Yeah,
highest
Christina could have waited. Now,
floor of the
don't get
sky.
me wrong. I ain't on. I ain't. I'm not that far gone because we all know I did not appreciate when Christina said, "Oh, my Ava pushed her." You know damn well Ava did not push no Christina. So therefore, no, Christina, you the one that is to blame for some of that. But in Molly's case, she doesn't have any viable eggs. That's why they use Christina's eggs. Yes, I understand that, Laura B. But the problem is her condition is a real life condition, though. It's still treatable over time. She's not gonna. She don't have no eggs right now, but if she would just go through the course, get some treatments, it's gonna. It will take a while, but she can eventually end up having a baby. She just don't have no viable eggs right now. But that is a very treatable condition. There's been many documented cases that women have successfully had successful pregnancies with that condition that Molly has. So the so that's my main issue with this storyline, why it's so forced and so rushed. Because Molly is still so young too. She's only in her 20s still.
But I
So
think they're trying to grow up the character though to make her like in her young 30s now. I think they're trying to grow her up. And because here's the thing, the writers do have to write for the next generation at some point. Everything can't be about Cindy, Carly, and Jason. Got to like usher now this next generation. I think that's what they're trying to do. Because we've had enough of Michael and Willow for a minute. I'm kind of like I need a break from them too. So exactly right. We all need a break from Michael Willow. So I think that's what they were trying to do. But Molly and Kristen are relatively still young, truth be told, and we're watching a young couple go through it. Because the thing is about it is like soap couples back in the day usually were going through these same things at these same ages. They just like they were 85 years old in the process. That's all. Because we aging backwards. That's the difference. That's the difference. We're aging backwards nowadays. So it's like that's why I look like they're so young. But we had soap couples back in the '80s go through the same thing at their age. And just like they were 85 while they were 25. That's the difference. That's all that was.
Molly
That's
has
all that is.
endometriosis, not cancer in her womb. Exactly. So that's all I'm saying. Now, let switching gears. Let's talk about the bold and the beautiful for a minute. What you think about that psycho Luna?
I finally saw the episode today, and Steffi really just guzzled through that iced tea for a swallow. Like, sis, like, she really just guzzled through it. So you come here to confront somebody, they just hand you an iced tea, you just guzzling it all through. I'm like, okay, like you really just guzzle that iced tea. Are you that thirsty? Like, I know they got some water in the Forester Creation break room. Um, the thing is with Luna, what's her motive though? Like I get wanting to stay with Bill, but like you were dating RJ Forrester. You had somebody still on the silver platter. In fact, you had a better chance with RJ. RJ got money. So I'm not really understanding.
But RJ is a weak boy. Bill Spencer is a strong man. She's got to secure her bag. Like you see, I wasn't mad at Luna for trying to secure her bag and her future though. Because I think if they really want to try to push some connection between Bill and Poppy for this long run, then maybe Bill got to get Luna pregnant. Because Poppy ain't popping out another kid at this age. So uh,
But the thing is like even with that is like they just found out they're no longer father and daughter. They could at least give us 6 months before they put these two together or even try that. And my thing is, her and RJ already have a connection. Like she could have trapped RJ at all people. That's Rich Forrester and Brooke Logan money right there. Like she could. She had something set up. In fact, she actually messed things up. If Luna was smart, because it's such a 360 which I'm like, okay, like it's so weird. Like you kill the man you know he's your father, just to what? Like it all backfired on you at the end of the day. So like I don't get. It's just a weird thing with Luna. And then Steffi of all people to confront. I'm like, Steph, you got enough stuff going on with Finn. And my theory is she's gonna go missing for a while. I hope they don't make this the time where Taylor sleeps with Finn, because I feel like this is why Taylor looks so beautiful. And we have Rebecca Budd back in the role. Something is gonna happen with Taylor, because you don't bring back a powerhouse name like Rebecca Budig, the Greenlee from All My Children, to come back on to play B and B just to like be just here for decoration. Even though I feel like when she was hating on GH, she was there for decoration. I do feel like that low key, but I feel like they're gonna do something with her, and she's amazing as Taylor. By the way, she's amazing, guys. This is our new Taylor. I co-sign. My name is DC of Sanctuary, and I approve of this
It's
message.
funny you answered the future question. I was going to ask you about the new Taylor, but what if Sheila is the one that rescues Steffi from the demolished building? I don't think that would change much for Steffi. She would still
Yeah,
act the exact same like a Karen. Well, no, no, Finn, no, yeah, yeah. Sheila was the one that saved me, and I, I guess I thank her. But no, I'm not going to thank her because look at everything she did. She shot me. She shot you. She can't be anywhere around Hayes, and she can't be around thing. She can't be no Finn. You still cannot have no contact with Sheila. Now, how
to
do
be
I
honest,
put
it's
Luna?
Finn's family causing the problems at this point. First his mother Sheila, and now his cousin Luna. Seen a pattern here.
No, no, no,
I
no.
understand Steffi. I stand with
She got a
Steffi. I
perfect
stand with
family
her.
over here with her psycho brother over there. Her
I stand with her.
like no, this isn't right. I'm with DC. I don't get Luna's motive. Um, I guess they could flesh out more of Luna's motive, but maybe Poppy did some. Maybe Poppy neglected Luna back in the day. Maybe something happened with Luna back in the day. Um, maybe she
So wait,
has.
does that mean she? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Maybe Luna has a suppressed memory. Maybe she was assaulted as a child, and she blames Poppy for it because Poppy wasn't there to protect her, and she had her around all these strange places, all these strange people. Because she did mention a bunch of babysitters and whatever else. So maybe something happened to Luna as a child, and
But
that
the
finally
thing is, Clarice, though, why would she jeopardize? She had two Forrester men, RJ and Zende, fighting for her. Like, and honestly, RJ was a better pick, of course. So like, why go after Bill? Like, what was she trying to like? And that guy is 18, like 45 years times her age. Like, what did she think was going to happen? Like, it's too out of nowhere for me. And this makes me wonder: did she know what she did to Zende though? Was that intentional? Then nowadays, that's what I'm wondering now. Did she know what
yeah,
she was
that's
doing
what I'm
there too?
wondering. That's going to be retconned because I'm like, is she still? George says lunatic is in the name of Luna. And then Laura B says they thought they were father and daughter seconds before the kiss. And Gemini said, stop making excuses for Luna. First of all, ain't nobody just making excuses. I'm just saying, if maybe they were asking her motives, I'm trying to see what it is that why she would frame Poppy for murder. Uh,
It's weird. It just I, it doesn't make sense to me why Luna would do this. Like, if anything, if she tried to trap RJ with a baby and that was something that they figured out in the Forcers, I would be more on board with that because that makes more sense. You have two Forcer men fighting for you. Why do you need to go all the way out here for Spencer Publications, man? I get it. Like, Bill Spencer's money is long as the day is long,
mhm.
but you have two Forcer men. That's still a good thing, and they're both good looking men. So I don't understand.
Wow. RJ is I. So,
Zende does look good though. Zende look good.
Zende's like a five. So, I give him a solid.
Really? I give him a good. He's a good seven. Well, RJ for me is about a five, so I'll agree with you on RJ. RJ about a five. Well, you don't tell me Bill's a nine now.
um, Nah, Bill's a six at best.
Bill's like a three to me. I mean, the money bumps him up to like a six.
Yeah, the money. And then he said Ridge kissed Bridget. I know when Ridge was almost Bridget's father and technically
But
her
there was a
adopted.
time gap with that. There was a time gap. It wasn't the next day that he slept with Bridget though.
It's
We
true.
had some time to breathe in between, and so with Luna, I'm like, where are they taking this storyline? So now Steffi's trapped in a cage, and this is gonna be Finn's fault. And you know what? I stand with Steffi. Like, Finn is a good man, but he did tempt hope. He tempted that woman to come towards him. He tempted her.
No,
He
no,
never shut
no,
it
no,
down.
no, no, no,
He
no.
never shut it
Finn
down.
is an attract is a lot. He's a good looking doctor. He's secure his bet. He's a smart doctor. He worked hard for his degrees. He is allowed to enjoy some attention from some women.
As a married man,
He's allowed to enjoy his attention. If Steffi's allowed to let Liam put his nasty herpy lips on top of her, and then Finn is allowed to enjoy company, even if it is from Hope, who like I've been telling Hope that she needs to get her ego checked. Because did you see that episode, DC, when Hope had the nerve to say, "Oh, most men don't say no to me. Most men think no, 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 no. Most men would beg to be with me." I'm like, sister, you ain't got it like that. Don't be walking around like you look like Jessica Love. Don't be walking around like you look like Audra Charles. You don't look like none of that, boo boo. So I'm like, first of all, you ain't got no ass. You ain't got no check. You ain't moving like that. So I'm just saying, we're not about to have her ego hyped up like that when without no just without good justification. You need to go get you a good mirror and a good humbling thing because you about just as appealing to me as the 50-year-old librarian. So hope knock that down a few pegs. I'm
But
just
here's the thing, though. Like with Finn and Hope, like okay, Finn is allowed to enjoy attention from other women as a single man. Like that context does not work in the context of a marriage. Two wrongs don't make a right. And Steffi should not have blamed all of it on Finn, but he didn't shut it down. That's what made Steffi feel like she could hopefully she can come with all this. Finn never shut it down. And he did tempt that woman. He tempted her. He tempted that woman. I know we our way back up for the lie, but see here's the thing. Finn is part of the reason why Hope kissed him, but he's not responsible for the kiss. See what I mean there?
and then Darby 13 says Finn did everything he could to entice Hope's fragile loins. He all unzippered for her to get freaky. But one thing that Finn said that really helped start all this crap was when he told Thomas, as long as I shall live, you will never have hope. I'm like, that was very out of pocket for a married man to say.
That was.
Extremely out of pocket.
But he
You
should
are
have shut that down Hope from the beginning. He didn't shut it down. His wife's upset, and unfortunately, he's become kind of like her puppet. I agree. She's treating him like a puppet, but he was asking for it. Like you should shut it down. You should stay by your wife. When you saw Hope was like over here talking in the corner, you should say, "Oh, let me get out of this corner right here," because that's not a place you want to be. That's not. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. So I hold Finn wholly accountable. Like he's not responsible for Hope kissing, but he's part of the reason why she kissed him.
and then all right, my Spider Quick says, Curtis, how you like Sophia yesterday? So, look, I still like the character of Sophia on Days of Our Lives. I do.
Same. She's a
But
good. She's a good girl.
she's a conniving little tramp after yesterday, though. I gotta get I,
That or a girl who had her heart broken.
what heartbroken. Tate ain't never even kissed this woman. He ain't did nothing to this. He never even held her hand. So like I was on her side about Holly betraying her because Holly's supposed to be your best friend. You knew you was around with Tate. You knew you was still wanting to be with Tate, but you claim that Sophia is supposedly so close to her her mom, so she's gonna snitch on you. I don't really, I don't buy that. You never gave her a chance to swear her to secrecy, and she might
That's
have not even
true.
said. You might have not even said she might have not even said anything, but I was still on Sophia's side, and I wasn't mad at first when Sophia secured her bag this summer. She's like, "F this! Why should I be busting busting dishes at this raggedy restaurant when I could be having my nail appointments and all and be looking good in my bikini all summer long." So I don't blame her for taking advantage of that situation, but she just threw herself at Tate yesterday. It just was really desperate and pathetic for a girl
She
that
was
looks
hurt.
as good as she does.
She
Because
was hurt.
Sophia is a good looking girl. I'm like, she should have the world ahead of her. I expect better
But
from
Tate
her.
is a good looking guy though. Tate is a good looking guy. He fine.
Mm,
Tate is
yeah, he
fine.
says,
Tate is a good looking guy. The thing about it is that like when you look at it with Tate and Sophia, I feel for Sophia. She was hurt. And people do a lot of things to get betrayed. Hey, listen, this is the thing. People out here betraying folks, but they're not ready for the consequences. They're not ready for the lies to turn into a Lifetime movie or
hey,
an episode of
Double
Snap.
C.
You know what I mean? Y'all gotta get ready for the consequences. If you betray someone, be ready for your life to turn into a Lifetime movie or an episode of Snapped. You better be ready. You better be ready. Because my thing is, I feel for the girl. I feel for her. Those things hurt. But is she taking it too far? Yes, but Tate and Holly moved on like they could have cared less. And their actions have been reckless this whole time. More so Holly's actions, which brought them all to where they're at right now.
Mhm.
Because she wanted her parents to know that she was out here doing drugs.
Well, her mother, because her. But I'm still surprised that she never knew. She never knew that Eric was the one that killed her father. I'm like, hasn't Maggie told you that by now? I'm just saying. If Nicole didn't tell you that, then I would expect Maggie would have mentioned that at some point. I'm like, wow.
And let me ask you this, like, what are your thoughts on Connie being the one who killed Li Shin?
Look, I was, and then like Laura B says, there is no excuse to throw yourself at someone that said no. Exactly. Sophia crossed the line. That was sexual harassment. Let's not forget, because Phyllis Summers should be a tried and convicted sexual offender. She should be a sex offender. She shouldn't be nowhere near like how she's sitting over there being all nosy in Harrison's business. You shouldn't even be around Harrison. You shouldn't even be around any children. You should be a registered sex offender after what you did to Danny Ramalotti. She raped Danny Ramalotti back in the day. I will never forgive Phyllis Summers for that. And even though I wasn't born when she did that, it don't matter. There's the internet. I read it. I saw it. The replay of that. You terrorize that man. You're going. She's a registered sex offender as far as I'm concerned, Phyllis Summer. So I don't want Sophia walking down that path because I love. Well, I like Sophia. Love is a strong
You
word,
don't want
but
her walking down that path.
I don't need her going that direction. And then Dewan says, "Who is Tate? Someone that DC thinks is all that, and then some." I'm like, Tate is all right. Okay,
Tay is fine. That's a good looking man. He got a body.
look, Danny forgives her. I don't care if Danny forgives her. I don't, but that's because Danny is just such a good man. He's a
Do you forgive
compassionate,
Chelsea? Because she
huh?
did the same thing to Billy. She did the same thing to Billy back in the day.
Not really. She's a no good grifter. I don't really.
She has a heart. Chelsea has a good heart. Okay, we're still on days right now, but like Chelsea has a good heart. She has
It's
a good
okay.
heart.
The description it's about all four soaps, so we allowed to be messy and all over the place.
Chelsea
Okay.
has a good heart. She was honest with Billy. She has a good heart. Like when she said, I feel like she's a genuine person. She might have been a grifter back in the day, but I really feel like she is a genuine person. And like,
Nope, she's a
I want the best
mansplainer
for her.
pussy. She slept with Sally's man, and Adam is a scumbag. So therefore, um, Adam don't deserve Sally no more. He don't like. I hate to admit it, but you're kind of right about Adam. Like he's
I
kind of,
was always right about him. Go
huh?
ahead. I was
What do
always right about Adam. Go ahead.
But no, 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 no. But now he still has a heart though. Unlike what you try to act like he don't, but he does have a heart. He saved the life of his niece, did he not? Out of the goodness of his heart.
The same niece that he almost caused to die back
It
when she was
don't
a baby. Yeah,
matter. He
yeah,
he
yeah,
saved her.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He did
So
save her. He did
therefore,
save that
like
same niece.
he still has a heart, despite his misgivings. But he deserves to be punished this time
I mean,
for.
what is Adam gonna do to Billy? Like, you already caused him at one point in time to lose his place in the company. You caused Billy to lose his daughter. Now you causes Billy to lose his woman. What more is Adam need to do to Billy? That's the part I can't understand.
Well, they don't like each other. They didn't like each other before all that. They don't like
But
each other.
Adam should, if anything, he should be groveling every time he sees Billy. You killed
Nope.
this man
I
and his
don't
daughter.
care. I'm not groveling for nothing. And I wish he was meaner to Chloe too. I'd be mad. I'd be mean and ruthless. You know what? Nope. F that. I was gonna call out Adam, but see now you got me defending him all over again. Even though he's a pos. I could drag Adam on another day, but I'm gonna have to defend him today. I would be dragging Chloe every time I see her. I'd be like, I don't give a damn about you. And you know what? I don't care about your grief anymore. And if you keep messing with me, you're gonna be in the gravesite right next to her. Like I would be nice and ruthless if she keep trying me like this. Okay? Chloe could catch one in the head. Billy could catch one. Like I don't have time for this. Mm-mm. Adam,
Yeah,
if they
Adam
want
still,
him to be the devil, let him be the devil.
and now he's trying to take down Billy like
Yeah.
through Victor. Like you took this man's daughter. That should be enough. That should be enough.
Well, if Bi- well Billy, well, you know what? Adam understands that pain too now. He lost a daughter, so therefore, now what? Adam got his karma. Okay, he lost a daughter too.
But the daughter wasn't even born yet.
It don't matter. The grief was
Delia had a face, a life, and a
Adam is a
legacy
grieving
behind her.
mother, just like Christina is a grieving mother. So therefore, he still he still lost a child. He lost a baby girl, and he never gets to see his son.
Adam probably forgot about that child already. Moved on.
No, he had well, not completely, but yeah, he did forget that one
He
day.
moved on. He already moved on. Billy has not moved on. He lost the actual physical daughter.
You
She
tell me
had a laugh. She had memories.
you had nothing, you felt nothing when Adam lost his daughter, nothing at all.
I didn't feel anything for some reason.
You are so cold.
But for Delia, a girl who was walking, who was in kindergarten, who went out, was getting
Okay,
ice
did
cream
you
for
feel bad for
father.
Sally at least?
That for what?
Did you feel bad for Sally when she lost her baby?
Sally is a very weird character to me on YNR. It's just with Sally, I feel like she's lost her identity of who she is as a character. Like I feel like if it weren't for Adam or even Nick, she would have no purpose on the show. Like she can't stand on her own as a character. I don't see it with Sally. I don't see her being able to stand on her own as a character. Like there's some characters on soaps they're able to stand on their own. Like Nicole, if she doesn't have her man or she doesn't have Holly, she can actually stand on her own as a character. Audrey can stand on her own as a
Yeah.
character, but
Audrey
Sally
Charles,
cannot.
I started off, I had issues with Audrey Charles. I could not stand her at one point, but that really did change because when she was with Tucker, she really tried initially, even though she should have never been with Tucker. Like I agree with you,
Never should have happened.
she should have stayed his henchwoman. But
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it showed me that she really had a heart. That she showed some genuine emotion at one point. So I really respect Audrey Charles for that. And I really am digging her and Nate a little bit. I think her and Adam would be a more messier couple because Audrey could stand by with some of the things that Adam do. She wouldn't really judge him like everybody else do. I don't think she can't. And Audrey's the type of chick Adam can't break her heart because he'll probably never really have it either. So like they would keep each other on their toes and be like, I would see them having a totally honest relationship with each other and give not one F's if they never like. I really
honest relationship. The person she should have an honest relationship with was Tucker, and that didn't even happen. So I
no.
doubt she's gonna have one with Adam. I doubt it. And her and Tucker had massive amounts of history. They're like tell me. I saw them more as brother and sister, or like boss and employee. I did not see her and Tucker as a couple. It just never should have happened. I feel like she should have been the next Mrs. Kyle Abbott. So that way, all this beef and this hard on that Summer has for her would have made more sense now. Would have made more
Dark because
sense
Elizabeth, hate her or not, can stand on her own.
on GH.
Yeah. Elizabeth is always look. Actually, never mind. Elizabeth is has turned her life around, but all these years she's always begging somebody to be the father of her three kids any damn ways. So I'm just saying.
I feel like Elizabeth is on the show for legacy reasons at this point.
I hope Tracy doesn't have that evil twin. Yes. What do you think about Tracy and Mark? I mean, Alan.
Tracy needs to unite with the man that I believe is a true love of her life. Here's how they could do it. Tracy finds out this guy's evil twin. Nate gets played by Audra. They meet each other in the athletic club. The setup is there, guys. The setup is still there. I believe. I believe in
We
it. I believe in
we
it. The
still
setup
on
is
Nate and
still there.
Tracy for 2025, aren't we? We still
Yes,
are.
because let me tell you something. These two will set things off, and they will like even. I could see them going through a surrogate. For Nate to have have a child with Tracy, because maybe Tracy can't conceive and she gets surrogate, and maybe he has feelings of surrogate or something. Like another way to spice things up. But these two, him becoming Mr. Tracy Abbott, and then becoming co-CEO Jabot.
I was
The
this
setup is still
delusional
there. The
once.
setup is still there. This is like Audra will betray him. She gets played by that guy, and next thing you know, they look at each other across the room, and
Thank you, Laura B. Finally, some sense again. Tracy and Alan are cute. I can't believe I let Solomon talk me into Nate and Tracy nonsense at one point.
Tracy and Alan are boring. Tracy and Nate are the next Matt and Vanessa from Guy Light. They could really, we need that contrast with the couple. And like, I could totally see Olivia coming back to General City, even with the recast Olivia and her saying, "What? You're dating Tracy Abbott? No way in the world." Or Mamie even getting into this. This would be perfect for them. Honestly, about perfect for them. I'm here for it. I'm totally here for Nate and Tracy.
Give it a year, you might get your wish with Audra and Adam. Imagine those two married and eating with Nikki at the ranch. Yeah, I'm dead.
They're too deceptive. You can't have two deceptive people together. That's why her and Tucker didn't work out. That's why her and Tucker never should have been a couple. It's like y'all are cousins practically because y'all really cut from the same cloth. It's they're too similar to have been
But do you
together. It's
think
like
Sally's going to forgive Adam?
I think Billy will forgive Chelsea. I don't think Sal will forgive Adam. I don't think so. But I do believe Billy will forgive Chelsea because they have a genuine love. Those two, they genuinely love. They have a child, a son together. Well, they have a son together. They had history. He helped her from killing herself. They he is a
I wonder when they
true
have another kid together though. 'Cause I would say,
yeah, they have a true genuine love for one another. But Sally, well, one, I don't care about Sally to be honest. I could care less about her. Um, that's just how I feel. Sally is a non-factor for me as a character in line on. Like I'm like, okay, like I see her on the screen. I'm like, I don't really know who you're supposed to be on the show. They gave her the friendship with Audra, but I think she might try to forgive Adam, but Adam lied to her face, whereas Chelsea was honest. That's the difference.
hmm
And now his world about to
Adam
be
had
blown up.
his
So how do you
chance.
trust him?
Sally literally said, Adam, the only way we managed to work in the past through all of our issues, all of our ups and downs, where we were honest with each other. When we were honest with each other, this is your chance. Did you sleep with Chelsea? If he would have said yes, you're right. I slept with Chelsea. She would have cried. She would have gotten mad, but she would have gotten past it at some point. But now he lied to her face directly. It's just like there's no coming back. She can't trust you again after that. Nothing that
But I
you ever.
think, but see, here's the thing. I think that had he knew that Chelsea told Billy, and Chelsea should text him right away, like, "Hey, Billy knows." Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you're supposed to do when you have an affair with somebody. You're supposed to give them the heads up. Like, once you go ahead and spill your piece, you gotta get that person a heads up. It's the right thing to do.
Hey, Clarence. Billy's ego was too big, says that one. DC, you two can start a hashtag or petition Nate and Tracy for 2025. And Clarence says, poor Sally. But what do you? But unfortunately, I got to mention a dreadful storyline that I can't stand.
Which one's that?
Summer, Harrison, and Kyle. Oh, I'm so exhausted. What do you think? What do you think about that?
I think with Summer Harrison and Kyle, I think that, like I said, if he was about to marry Audra and she was about to become the next Mrs. Kyle Abbott, all this beef for Audra would have made sense. I feel like Summer has a good point because Claire was she played a part in Harrison's kidnapping. She was part of the reason why he got kidnapped. She was part of the reason, but she wasn't responsible for him getting kidnapped. Because Jordan would not have kidnapped Harrison had not been for Claire. That's what that was all about. Um, but Summer's not going about this smart. She has no custody of Harrison established, and she should have had that done first.
Oh,
Like
they
she should have.
they rewrote that part. Apparently, that's why I had to mention this bullshit because apparently Summer adopted him when they were still in Italy.
Yeah,
Which
that's
how
right.
exactly would have that happened when Tara was the even though Tara is in jail, her rights were never terminated. She never signed her rights away. She's not a violent. She didn't go to jail for a violent reason. She went to
No,
jail,
but it's easier usually to terminate the parents' rights when they're in jail. It's very easy to do it
but
because it's like, what's that parent gonna do? I'm still a good parent. You're in jail. Like, what you gonna do?
like that would still be some nonsense. And even then, like Ashlyn Locke still, I know he let Kyle do let Kyle have Harrison with that, but that's still ridiculous. How was she able to adopt him while in Italy when he's an American born child? Like that doesn't that, They weren't even in Italy that long. They were only there for 4 months.
But here's the deal. They could have had their lawyers file the paperwork. And here's the thing, Tara is in jail. Once the other parent is in jail or deceased, it's actually very easy for that adoption process to happen. So she might not have been going through a court system, but they could just file the paperwork through their attorneys. So to be honest, it actually felt very realistic to me. Very realistic, especially since they got money. And Tara is in jail. So once the other parent is in jail or dead, it's a wrap. Like you can go ahead and take
But
that custody up.
she's not in jail for life. She didn't get
Still,
life.
she's in jail. She's still in jail because the thing she's not in a place where she can take care of everything. What's she gonna do? Fight and say no? I have
Okay,
custody. You
but
have
what
custody
happens when
now.
she gets released? What happens when she gets released?
She can fight back for it. She well, the thing about it is that it's easier for the courts to grant it to the parent. I mean, Kyle's already the biological parent, so it's just easier to terminate the rights in that case. It's very easy. It's very easy if one wants to.
But
So
no,
I could. That's why it's believable for me.
no, she would have not been able to adopt that boy. Ashlyn Locke was that boy's legal father. On top of that, and no, this is ridiculous. Tara is that boy's mother. She still is his mother. So when she gets released, they need to go. Um, like I need Tara to sleep with some politician's son, and let's get this because we all know Victor has every Wisconsin judge in his pocket. So I want this to be appealed since this was an overseas position somehow. I want this taken to the U.S. Supreme Court. That's right. Go there and let's get this adoption invalidated, and we're gonna re-establish Tara Locke's rights as a
Why do
mother.
you want Tara so badly to be the mother?
Because Tara is that boy's mother. And not to mention that sexual predator Phyllis was the reason that Tara got sent to jail. And if Phyllis is not in jail for murder and rape, then Tara shouldn't be in jail for whatever bullshit crime she was in jail for. And she was a good mother. She raised that boy. She she
I
potty
give it.
trained him. She she taught him how to read. She she did everything. She did everything with that boy. She was a loving mother. And Summer just coming in here 5 minutes and then now she want to call herself Mother of the Year. That is some bullshit. And then not to mention, this is the part that pissed me off because Ashton Locke asked Kyle, and I swear I was watching that scene like it was yesterday. He said, well, you know, one condition for me to let you take him to Italy is I know you have your issues with Tara, but Harrison does love his mother, so I'm gonna need you to. And then Kyle said yes, I will put my issues with Tara aside, and I will go. I will travel back and forth from Italy to the prison to go let Harrison see his mother. And then now this bullshit. Oh, some Summer adopted him in Italy. How did that happen? When um that was the sticking point. That was Ashland's sticking point. How the hell did that happen? Go from he promised that he would take him to see his mother in jail, but no, that just really triggered. Because, like I said, because you want to know the truth of the matter is that really was a triggering point. Because I remember when I was around Harrison's age. Well, I was from age 5 to age 9. I was separated from my mother. So, and my father was all the way in Florida. So when I see Summer being such a bitch, it kind of triggered. Even though she's not a bitch to Harrison, thank God for that. But she's being such a bitch. It really triggered me
So this is
because
why you're going so hard for Tara then.
it reminded me of my
Understand?
foster mother. Even though my foster mother was like an older lady, but she was just like such a bitch. So Summer being such a bitch. On top of that, and Harrison being kept away from the mother that really does love him. She never really did anything that put him directly in jeopardy. Matter of fact, she did that for him to secure a legacy from him because she got because Ashlyn made her sign an ironclad prenup. So therefore, so she wanted the finer things in life. So is that real? But But so does so many people. They just have to learn that lesson the hard way. But come on,
I
she
think
was
for Summer it was about control. Summer obviously wanted control, and I do believe like she does with Harrison, but I think this is also about control. Kyle to have some kind of control over her life, and I could understand. Even now, like now I see why he goes so hard for Tara. Now I'm understanding because I'm like, why is he going so hard for Tara? What is going on? Because Tara was off for like 2 seconds. I feel like on the show
no
before she
man.
left.
It's not just me. Like if you go on Facebook board, Twitter board, on thing, thousands of people are calling for Tara Locke's return right now. Like, because it's ridiculous. Like, there's no way in the world that adoption is legal. I'm gonna need that Supreme Court to overturn that bullshit decision, and Tara will win because that was Ashlyn's deal. Ashlyn did say that. I'm sure there was some sort of, because think about it, they record those conversations in prison. So I'm pretty sure when Tara probably called Ashton at least one point and been like, "Yes, yes, Tara, I'm letting him take him to thing, but the deal was that he could see you from that. We can get that call recorded, shown to that judge. We can get this shit overturned because Kyle is a liar. He's a son of a bitch, and it's just not right that a loving mother was stripped of her rights for no good reason."
Okay, understandable. I totally understandable because it's almost like she's not even a part of the equation. I'm trying to think if there was ever a moment on soaps where there was something similar to like this where the other parent was still part of the equation. Okay, there was actually there, well, but then it involved Victor because this was with Brad, Ashley, Abby, and Victor. When Brad was Ashley's, when it was Abby's dad, and Abby knew that Victor was her father at some point, but it's like it was kind of like that's still Victor over there because Brad is still the man I grew up with. And then once Brad died, then Victor fully assimilated into the role of her father.
And
Oh
then
my God.
even though that was technically temporary because now Victor barely mentions Abby.
And Abby never really mentions Brad, which is, and Brad was the father of Tracy's daughter, Colleen, too, who also died. And she, Tracy hasn't had a child since Colleen, but her and Nate can have a child together. And that's the beauty, that's the beauty of soaps. We can really recreate something. I think it has something beautiful, those two. Those two can really have something beautiful together. Nate and Tracy can have something so beautiful. Nate with them eyes, ooh, you can put it down on Tracy. They can really have something beautiful together.
And then Darby 13 says it's not that Kyrie's loves Tara, it's that he really hates Phyllis and Summer. Can't both be true. Can't both be true. Shoot, I hate Phyllis and Summer, but well, who said anything about loving Tara though? I never said I loved her. I said I wanted her to because I know a good mother when I see one, just like Esme Prince. She was a good mother too. Like
She really was.
I feel like if she was, mm-mm. See, Spencer shouldn't have been a brat. He should have just let Esme with amnesia serve her time in prison. She could have maybe gotten sentenced to a year and some change for her crimes. And then she could have just stayed up in there in Spring Ridge that whole sentence because she would have had a mop in one hand, a breast pump in another one. And that boy would have been raised up right, and she would still have his loving mother. Not a damn thing Nicholas would be able to do about it to go to that prison to go get his thing because Nicholas is in jail for hard is doing hard time. Esme was in Spring Ridge, but Spencer couldn't stand for that, so he got those charges dropped. And
I still think Spencer is a father of Ace. I still think that like the timeline still serves he can still be the father of Ace, and Morgan could still be the father of Avery.
oh, that would be a twist if that does turn out to be true. But what you think about Gabby Hernandez on Days of Our Lives?
I'm glad you brought her up. She's very ungrateful. She's an ungrateful woman
Thank you.
because
Extremely ungrateful.
my thing is I understand Stephen had an affair, but this man went through so much to get you out of jail. Like I feel like you couldn't have just let it go. It was a one-time thing. And my thing is this man put himself through so much when Gabby went to jail. He went put her through he went through so much for her. And then when she what was it, exposed EJ at the press conference, I was pissed at her then because I'm like, dude, you could at least give me like stepping a heads up, saying, listen, I know what you did, but I gotta expose this man. So he could at least prepare himself. You didn't do that, and he got all that leverage to help you get the company. I guess Gabby, it's just to me. I'm disgusted with Gabby. That's kind of I feel right now. She's very ungrateful as hell because this man really did a lot to help her. And you just like threw this drink in his face and you cheat on me, and then all of a sudden tell EJ, I'm not leaving this house. Yes, you are. Like, what you doing? You're not,
Well,
you're
you
not respecting. Get out the house. Like, what are you doing? Get out.
exactly. Like I was definitely with that. Like, cause I would have had EJ's reaction too when EJ was like, you know what, this couldn't happen to a nicer girl. So yeah, and make sure you get all your stuff because I'm changing all the locks because I'm gonna make sure there's no more murderers or gold diggers and kidnappers here. So you got to. So I'm changing them. And she said, I'm not going. I'm like, yes, you are. You're either gonna go by choice or I'm gonna throw you out in a trash can where you belong.
Maybe
Which
she's gonna end up pregnant because her and Stefan did make love a while
she
back.
can't get pregnant. She got when she got beat up in prison or something.
Nicole couldn't get pregnant, and we saw what happened.
Gabby doesn't
So
deserve another baby. She's not even there for the baby that she got. She
that's
barely
true.
gave her. So she don't even deserve another baby. I think Gabby are gonna have um se- and EJ gonna have sex, and she will get pregnant with EJ's baby to throw the salt in Stefan's eyes. That just
There's the thing. Gabby will have a Demara baby. You heard it here first. She already has a Horton baby. She's gonna have a Demara baby next. Gabby is is Sammy 2.0 because Sammy has her Horton baby. She got her Demara baby. Gabby has her Horton baby, and Sammy had a Horton baby first, and so Gabby's gonna have her Demara baby next, just like Sammy, just like her. Well, I don't know if I'll call Sammy her mother-in-law since her and Will never married, but like her pseudo mother-in-law, Sammy. Gabby will have that Demare baby next. I was hoping it would be Stefan's, but it might just be EJ's. But she gonna have that Demare baby. And
it,
Sammy's coming back. So actually, Sammy's coming back. So maybe she will sleep with EJ. And her and Sammy are like they're not besties, but they have a decent, really decent relationship. So maybe she might sleep with EJ. And
it's
then it'll be
true.
who's the daddy, which
Mhm.
Demare.
And then Ron says, DC encourages your opinion on Connie ratting out Stefan and Ava to Gabby. Like, look, my thing with all this was, I'm sick. First of all, I'm sick of Connie. Um, like, she really wasn't a strong character to begin with, but at the very least, I was able to use her. I was able to get some enjoyment out of her, mainly to stick it to just stick it to Albert a little bit, a little bit to mess with him in his dreams, because I was rooting for the whole Connie and Albert as a couple thing because I thought he may had like a secret crush on her. So that was just a fun little way getting into Albert. Just getting under Albert's skin just a little bit. But now, like Connie took away all that enjoyment with her dreadful personality, and then like my thing is, it's like she's just a problem at this point. Like Lee never wanted you, lady. Like when she really dead ass, really truly meant to talk about no, because of Gabby and Stefan, they're the reason why. Oh, and have a good night, Laura B. They're the reason why Lee and I couldn't have been together. I'm like, sister, let me break this down to you. The reason that fine man Lee was about a solid 9.
Of
You are
course.
a 2 on a good day. You are a 2 out of a 10 at best, and that's generous. So you was never gonna be pulling no sweet Lee. You just need to go stick with pork belly over there. So I'm not appreciating like Connie. She couldn't even pull Cyrus for now, if I'm being
But the
honest.
good thing is she brought Lee back on our screens. And that's the one thing I feel like Days made such a mistake. They killed that good looking man. That fine man. That was Lee Shan. That $1 million smile he had. That good looking man. Man.
But Connie's just doing way too much at this point, though. Like seriously. And then, but I'm not gonna lie, though. It was nasty, but I got a kick out of Connie when she spit in Gabby's drink. That was just nasty though. But I still kind of laughed about it. I'm like, you really should, like, why are you taking coffee from this woman? Like, when you clearly could tell she's out of her mind. She's in your brother's homicide room talking about to, she was visiting your brother in the ICU to, to get you to listen to her about a job at the thing. And you really just said, okay, yeah, that's fine. Go get me some coffee. Like, that's clearly not normal. under any circumstances. I'm like, that's just flat out pathetic
And
reason.
With Connie, I just feel like too with her is that she's not connected to anyone in the show, so it's like
Mhm.
I don't get. They killed off Everett with the quickness, and I feel like Everett actually had potential to be a long term character. To be honest, um,
I don't know about that. I found him very boring, but
you
even
know,
with, but it's crazy though that the reason Everett died was because he said something about Connie's weight. When you really think, when you think about
they
it,
should have kept his comments to himself.
that is what caused. That's what signed his death warrant. Because the second he said that, that's when she decided to switch. To
But you
switch
know
that,
what? Yeah.
he just said, "Oh yeah." So between, because what did he say about her weight again? He said something about I can see between donuts and no money. I can see why you're single. Something like that. That is what I found funny about
And Everett was a good looking man too.
Everett's death though. I'm like, wow, but that is so messed up.
Yeah. Now you, and the thing about it is too is that okay, let me ask you this too is that your thoughts on Body and Soul.
It is such a boring storyline. Like I was really trying to give it a chance, like a soap opera within a soap opera, but I knew like, because I'm like all their the little like things they make a bunch of cringy comments where worthy of it. Oh, because that's like a soap opera. Because and then this amount like little comments like that. I'm like, okay. Like I remember when Kayla was like, oh, I don't know much about soap operas, but it's like outside of my whole life being a soap opera for some reason. I'm like, okay, settle. And they said, oh, people say that soap operas is a dying genre. Subtle. I'm like, but it's like, and then it just became the community theater of Salem at this point. Like you got
There's no direction in the storyline.
D-list actors. Like there's no scandal behind there. There's nothing. Like think about behind the scenes storylines that they could be tapping into of what goes on when producing a TV show, the drama and the stuff like that, the scandal. Like you could have put the storyline in that direction, but now it's just like a joke. It's like nothing but a community theater at this point, and it's and a bad one at that.
Yeah, it's not like the Body
And
and Soul storyline. It's not going nowhere.
but the last straw was when Bonnie walked up in and talking about, oh, let me play Lauren. I'm like, yeah, that's it. I'm done with this story.
It's just
Listen,
giving them something to do. It's like giving them something to do
I
so they
was
can
already
their paycheck
I
for the
was
week.
already on the fence before Bonnie came back. I was already on the fence because it was like first Hattie Mae, I found okay with it, and then when Thing walked up, then who was I forgot who the second one was. That's how dreadful it was, but I was still like, okay, that's fine. And then Leo comes in with a dress trying to play this thing. I'm like, okay, okay,
Leo has no
yeah,
direction as
right.
go ahead. Go ahead.
But then finally, Bonnie walks in. That's it. I'm done with this storyline so quickly. I'm like, because that woman is so annoying.
The thing is with the Body and Soul character is that they just like okay, even for Leo, Leo has lacked so much like direction as a character. I thought they were gonna put him and Dr. Green together, like in some kind of storyline. Because Leo, they never should have written Craig off dates if they could have helped it. Because Craig and Leo should have gotten married. I feel like there would have been more potential there to see them go through stuff as a couple than them apart. And I feel like Craig could have been the better part of Leo. That was such a missed opportunity because Leo, what is he doing in town besides like just saying who he thinks is hot and just like he has no purpose as a character, and that's never good.
That's true. You really don't have much purpose. Do you think, DC? Do you think that fake Abby is Gwen?
No, and I would hope not. I don't know. The Abigail storyline was very weird because it didn't feel very intense as it should have been when they were on the search for her. Like I didn't feel that intensity. Like oh my god, is it Abigail? Like it's almost like I didn't really care. And if I'm feeling that way, I'm like, is the writers intentionally writing this way for me not to have this intensity towards it? But I don't think it's Gwen. because obviously this was a botched DNA test. But I'm just wondering, like, what is the point of Mark Green getting behind all this, and
You know.
what's the reason? Is that like his girlfriend? They're trying to get some money. Does got to pay back those medical school loans? Like, what's going on? That's what I want to know.
Um, but my thing is with let's see, what's the name now? It was Mike Green before that. Oh yeah, no, yeah, with the fake Abigail. But I want to know: do you think the real Abigail is still dead then, or is the real Abigail going to be alive and still played by this woman somewhere hostage?
You know what it reminds me of? Like, because I don't want Jack to have another daughter or for Jennifer to have another daughter. Like, they're not on enough to make this really plan out. But it kind of reminds me of like Die. Okay, so all my children, there was a character named Dixie, and her sister Di came on. The Di made everyone believe she was Dixie, and the audience didn't know if it was a recast Dixie at the time, but it turns out she was Dixie's sister. And I don't know if this is the route they're going with this. Is it's like another sister of Abigail. Um, I don't think it would be another Gwen, Risa, Abigail thing. I don't think we can do another one of these right now. So either maybe she knows where the real Abigail is.
Mm-hmm.
That's a possible. But I don't know. Like this story, I'm not invested in it either, to be honest, because I'm just like okay. Like I don't feel invested in it. I loved it when Jennifer came back. I think it was this week or last week. I was like, yes, Jennifer's back, and it's Katie McLean in the role. I'm not a big fan of Melissa Reeves playing Jennifer, guys. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's Katie McLean for me. She's a recast Jennifer. And that's the thing with recast. When you do a recast right, when it's done right, you get good results. What about you? What do you think?
Think of this the fake Abigail. Like I said, I'm more intrigued on knowing what what's the official direction of this storyline. Like, what's Mark Green's motive? Because I was really intrigued when he popped up, and I was like, oh, I should have. Because then he had like a totally. Because like even in that one scene, he kind of impressed me as a villain. You could tell he's gonna be a real son of a bitch. That's the way he said. He said, "Oh yeah, yeah. I'm right here. I'm right here." Like you could tell, like with that attitude in
Yeah,
his voice. He's like it had that aggressive. I'm like, yes, like he's already a believable villain to me. I'm like, yes, he could work. So I'm just waiting for the angle, and I'm like, but I'm really more intrigued about where the status of the real Abigail. That's what I'm really intrigued about. I want to see how that's going to play out with that real Abigail. But back to General Hospital, what I was disappointed with this week was I was really hoping that Ava would be reunited with her daughter this week. I didn't understand, like, when Sunny was going to sit there and entice her, he's like, I'm trying to save your life. I'm not trying to end your life right now, even though you deserve to die. And I should be the last face that you see when you do die. But no, we're going to do that later. But no, Jagger's the one that's trying to kill you. We had no indication that Jagger's trying to kill Ava.
yeah,
And
that's so random. That was so random.
and on top of that, even if we did, if Ava wanted Sonny, if Sonny wanted Ava to believe her, he should have brought Avery with him. That would have gotten Ava to go along with him. He'd been like, come on, Ava, let's go. Where Avery would have been like, come on, mommy, let's go, and she would have went with her. That would have been a sweet time to reunite the mother and daughter because Ava hasn't been able to see her daughter all summer long, and I know you can't tell me that Avery don't miss her mom by now. There's no way she don't.
Right, right.
So don't play that. She's not a baby anymore. She's old enough to understand. She knows who her mother is now. She's been very bonded and attached to her mother for quite a long time now. So
And the
no,
crazy thing is that Avery is her saving grace on GH. It's always been that way. And because when Ava first came to town, Jordan was working for Ava at the time, and now she has Avery. Avery is her saving grace. Avery is the thing like literally makes Ava have a purpose in Port Charles is because of that because she is a child of St. Corinthos. Because if you take that away, I don't know that her connection with Trina is strong enough to keep
it's
her
not.
as a character on the show. It's not. It's not.
It's eight.
And there's no more Nicholas either.
No, her tie is eight. Because first of all, that's the only realistic way Sonny hasn't killed her by now. It's just
Exactly.
if they didn't have a child together, Sonny would have killed her a long time ago. So
Exactly.
there'd be no way around that if you cross a mob boss. But I was like I said, I was very disappointed that Ava because they said when Sonny makes Ava an offer that helps mend the thought that mends the thought between them. I really thought that just meant Ava was going to be reunited with Avery, but Sonny made it clear, no, you're not taking Avery. So what you doing? But he did
But see,
say,
this is my thing. Why is it that Kate's like this? Is I understand. So once again, now Sonny's got to be the hero. This is my biggest issue with GH. It's like, how is Sonny the hero in every scenario? It's just so weird. Like you were a mobster and killed people for a living. Like I really need the GH writers to stop gaslighting me for just one moment. Like he is literally threatened Ava so many times. Now all of a sudden, he's like, I'm gonna come here and save your life. Really? Like what is the incentive? She just supposedly pushed your daughter out of a 10-story window, and now you're coming to save her life. It's like how is Sonny always the hero on this show? And that's what I respect about One Life to Live because they never made Todd Manning the hero. They never made him the hero, but he was still a leading man. He was still a leading man on the show, but Sonny's still the hero on GH. I don't get it.
exactly, Sonny ain't no hero. And my thing is, Sonny is a jerk because he's still vibing with Natalia, who is homophobic towards his daughter, but he's still filming her. I'm like, no, son, like you were off your medication, so I was able to somehow believe when you were back on your medication, you'd be like, okay, I got no more use for you. You could leave town now. But no, he still is keeping her on. He said, oh, I got an offer that's going to keep you in Port Charles. Let me make you my chief financial officer for this new record label. I'm like, are
So
you
weird.
kidding me? Like, son, I lost all respect for Sonny when he did that.
And like the thing is, like he was mad at the recording for being released by Ava, but Natalia was the one who said those things on the recording. So like it's like once again, like these are the things I just don't understand on GH. Like no matter what, Sunny will always be the hero. No matter what, they said they can't help it.
Exactly. That he pissed me off. And what do you think about Lulu being alive? I mean, Lulu coming back.
I don't know that I care to be honest. I know that I'm invested in Lulu coming back. I don't know that like it's almost like Abigail coming back. That whole Abigail story, where she alive. It's I don't know if it's about the way this is written, and I'm guessing the guy that's that was chained up, well, obviously was lucky or whatever. It's just I'm not invested. I'm not invested in Lulu coming back. I mean, if Sam and Dante were about to walk down the aisle and get married, this would feel soapy. Where Lulu's about to go from a coma, or there's not a good build up to this. It just feels like we're bringing Lulu back.
I wonder if
Like
Lulu's
what in
gonna
the storyline was
remember
leading to that?
her. I wonder if Lulu's gonna remember her little fiance, her little boyfriend slash fiance that died with her that night. I mean,
That's right. That's right. That's right. And but see, that's the thing. There's no proper build up to Lulu coming back. Like, you know, is Rocco going through something? Is maybe the family of her dead fiance? Like, there's no connections to what her bringing back to do. Like, Dante and Sam are getting married. I don't get it. Like, I don't get what's gonna make this like a big deal. Like, for example, when when Laura came out of her catatonic state back in I think it was '07 or '06. That was because it was the anniversary of Laura at that time. Not only that, Lulu was going through all the stuff she was going through with the sexual assault she experienced. Like it felt necessary to bring Laura back in that moment. But I'm just wondering, what is the thing that makes it feel necessary for us to have Lulu back in this particular moment? Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I don't know if I see the relevance of bringing her back now. Like,
if
what's the point?
anything, the time to bring Lulu back was when Charlotte got shot.
See, exactly my point. Exactly my point. That would have made more sense then. Like there was a reason to bring her back in that time. But now it's like, why are you
Exactly.
back?
He would have been like, if they was like, oh my God, is Charlotte gonna die? Is Charlotte gonna die? And then Charlotte could have been the one in the coming, and she wakes up and sees Lulu. That would have been an emotional mother and daughter reunion right then and there. But
Right, because they could have had that they were trying experimental drug on Lulu, and then it's like, oh, it didn't work, and then Charlie gets shot, and then maybe after she gets shot, she sneaks away to her mom's house. Mom, I got shot, but I'm still here. I'll never leave you. And then her mom wakes up. That would have
mhm,
been a reason to usher Lulu in, but that did not happen. And so these things, like I said, just like I get them bringing Lulu back, but what is the reason? Like that's my thing. Like what's happening right now for this to make sense? Like Rocco and Dante, they're okay. I don't get the reason. Is Rocco in need of a liver transplant or something? Like what's the reason?
Lulu's the one that needs the liver transplant, apparently.
So it's just like like what is the point of that? It just doesn't. And then them just randomly bringing back Cyrus on while he praying for Lulu. You know, I just want to see. This is the thing with GH. I want to see direction with the characters. I want to see direction. Like this whole Christina and Molly storyline, the baby, perfect. This right now is perfect because honestly, the storyline was getting on my nerves after a long time. But then when Christine found the window, it started to really pick up. And now we're getting the aftermath, and TJ wanted to like throw the funeral program pamphlet at her. You could feel his anger. Great acting from everybody, and I know that's gonna cause a rip between him and Molly. And honestly, it's good writing. We're getting somewhere finally. And now Christina has to live with her impulsive decisions. I'm glad they didn't make it that she carried the baby to term because now this is
Exactly.
more
It's not,
impactful.
it's not, it's not, yeah, and it's not going to be a permanent tie between Christina and TJ because nobody should have a permanent tie to TJ. TJ just needs to go.
No one shall permit to Christina. But the thing about it is this is that the thing about it is that now we get to feel the aftermath. This is something they're all going to remember. Like this was a perfect way to like shatter everything on screen. Like we're gonna build up Bella Baby and we're gonna shatter it down.
The
And
word says nobody cares about Lucky. Do you care about Lucky's return?
now back to Christina Molly. Back to Christina Molly. So I'm so over Lucky as a character. I don't get the thing is GH tries so hard to go off of like their past histories of basing why we care about the characters, but like Lucky hasn't been relevant even the last two times he can portray. So why do I care now? Like there's no reason for me to care. To be honest, even with Rick coming back for the funeral, it's
I don't.
perfect. But Rick should have been back when they were first deciding to have the baby. That's when Rick should have came in or Rick should have stepped in. But they have him back now, and it still works. So I'll accept it for now. But they better do right by his return this time. But I don't care for Lucky. I don't like it. He's like Lucky Elizabeth. I don't care for them. I feel like Elizabeth is kept on as a character because she's related to the Hardys and has General Hospital legacy, and that's the only tie to the first character ever in GH. Other than that, I don't see the point of Elizabeth. She could literally go off screen. Would we miss anything? Honestly, to God, would we? Jake can go stay with the Quartermains and he'll be good. So we'll still have Jason's kids on screen. That's what people worry about. Trust me. He can go stay with the Quartermains. We're good. And he can go stay with his grandma, Laura. We're good. The kids are all covered, so she can go.
Elizabeth Weber is the virtue of Port Charles. Okay, Central.
I don't know if I go that far.
She is a hard-working mother. She she is a self-made woman. She pays her bills. She owns her own home. She got she's got a lot going for her. Okay, she's still
Finn
attractive.
made her interesting. Finn made her actually interesting as a
Are you
character.
kidding me? Finn was where chemistry went to die. So let's not rewrite history and act like oh no, I'm not gonna let you do that on that raw. Just because Finn was interesting the last 5 seconds after his daddy died and became a whole mean, bitter drunk. That's when Finn was somewhat whatever. But even then, that was towards the tail end of, and then he didn't even get interested then until he officially dumped Elizabeth, and then that's when that storyline started to pick up. So do not rewrite history and talk about, oh, Finn made Elizabeth interesting. You are not about to rewrite history. They are where
Finn made her
chemistry went
interesting
to die, and you know
because the thing is, Finn had so much potential. Like when Jake saw him at the bar with the woman, they could have done so much more with that storyline. GH, they chose not to, and I'm like, okay, I'll have to accept that. And I wanted to expand the rivalry between Jake and Danny. I was like, I was actually liking this
I'm like,
missed
yo, like,
opportunity. We can't have
where's
good things
the
on the show.
status? I still need a status on that though. Like, are they even cool? Like, did they make up after that fight? Have they spoken since then? Have they seen each other? Like no sort of follow up with that. Like I was invested because if you recall back in that time, I was like, I'm Team Jake all the way. Like because almost everybody else was siding with Danny, so I was siding with Jake, and um, yeah, I could have been really invested in that rivalry, but they just dropped that storyline. I still want to know the status of their brother relationship. Are they cool? Are they not cool? Like,
And now they're bringing Lucky back. I don't care about Lucky. I don't know. Lucky to me, I don't care. Like, to be honest, the Christina and Molly storyline is the only storyline GH has really got my attention, 100%. And only because once Christina fell out the window, because once that happened, I was like, oh, snap, she fell out the window. I was like, oh my god. I was like, finally, because it was like dragging the whole Blaze thing. Her and Blaze had no chemistry. Let's not lie to ourselves, guys. There was no chemistry there. There was none. You know what I mean? And then Blaze just left with the quickness. So all this crap about Blaze, and she just left with the quickness. Yeah, I gotta go be with Mickey Moran.
mhm.
It was the weirdest thing in the world. That was it.
And then Darby says she lies on her back, Kyrie. So, oh, please, they're gonna leave my Elizabeth alone. She has turned her life around. She made some mistakes back in her day, but she's a really good person. She's a
Elizabeth has no layers. He has no layers as a character. Like Willow was literally like another Elizabeth. If it weren't for Michael, and Nina, Willow would really not be interesting as a character.
uh,
Like, and here's the thing: it's not because she's a good person, but like if you look at Sabrina on GH, you remember Sabrina on GH?
yes, I do.
Sabrina was a good character, but she was interesting. Willow doesn't have that. You know what I'm saying? That Elizabeth doesn't have that for me. I'm not interested in Elizabeth. You know, you're gonna be a good character and be interesting. And sometimes it's hard to write on souls, but Elizabeth's been on the show for 20 years. I'm not interested in Elizabeth's character. If she left on screen, it wouldn't do nothing to me. Same with Willow. You know, I'll take Willow's place because Michael is a good looking man. But the thing about it is just that like, you know, these characters are not interesting people. They're not interesting. They're not written interesting in a way. And you can have good characters and have them interesting, but those two, literally, Willow is Elizabeth 2.0. Tell me you don't see it.
Look, yeah, well, now Willow, is Drew gonna be her third baby daddy?
With Drew, this is whole Drew doing politics and sleep with Nina. This all feels so random. This all feels so random. It's like everybody's like, "Oh my God, Drew and Nina," and they're like, "Oh my God." But I'm like, I'm still hung up on the fact like, how did you get these two together? It's like Audra and Tucker never should have been a couple. Never should have been a couple because legit, Audra was acting like Tucker's henchwoman, not as a woman that was in love with him. And she knows. The thing is, when it comes to Tucker, Audra knew where all the dead bodies are buried. She knows how this man rolls. So was she really surprised at the end when he did her dirty? She was handling this man's
Exactly.
affairs. It was weird. How are you shocked?
Exactly. Audra, and first of all, Audra's a 10, Tucker was a 2. So
And Tucker was looking good though. He was looking good.
no, not like Audra Charo's level. So don't even try.
So Audra, well, Audra is like, it was just so weird that they put her with Tucker, and now she's like, "Oh, I'm getting this. I get back at Tucker." Like, you knew Tucker wasn't shizzle when you met him. You knew the kind of man he was. Like, it's not like, see, Ashley didn't know what type of man Tucker was. She didn't work with him. She was just only in love with him. But Audra worked with this man. She knew what type of man he really was at the core. So it was so weird that she felt so like jaded that what Tucker did to her. You knew he was hung up by Ashley. You were handling this man's affairs. I feel like Audra set up his bank accounts. She set up his shop. She set up his hotel room. She set up his offices. She set it all up. So you knew how this man ruled, like how he ran things. I never understood that one.
Speaking of running things, I did like how Alexis handled things in the courtroom. She definitely handed Jagger his ass in that courtroom, and I like how she handled this. She said, "Nope, you are not about to break up this funeral. We ain't going nowhere with you. We going to the damn funeral. You better pay attention to that damn court order and make a damn appointment. Otherwise, get out, or I'm gonna make sure you are charged with attempt to court." She's like, but she just instantly jumped into lawyer mode the second Jagger watched her talk about Christina Younger. She was like, "For what?" Like, no, but I'm not talking as her mother. I'm her damn lawyer. So I just loved how Alexis bossed up in that scene.
And when he
Yeah.
came to the house, that was so unnecessary. When he came to the house, that was like so unnecessary. When
Mm-hmm.
Jared came to the house, I was like, yeah, you really overdoing it. Like, I don't know what happened with Karen, but like, you really overdoing it, dude. Like,
It
coming
really
to the house on the day of the funeral is a bit much. They should have slapped the crap out of
Uh,
him.
Alexis just handed him his ass. I'm like, okay, they're gonna write her as a really good lawyer again this time around. So, because you know how the writers sometimes is, they'll mess they'll mess them up, and maybe would have made it was feared that maybe they would make Alexis inferior to Diane, but that ain't gonna happen. Nope, she shut that down. So I was happy with Alexis for that. Um,
I honestly wish they would give Diane a bigger role on the show. I feel like she could deliver it. Diane could really deliver some really good stuff to bigger role on the show. Like she could still, her main thing could still be being Sunny's attorney. And I don't mean her and Milo and that weird, not Milo, her and Max, that weird romance they have. I mean, giving Diane a big role. Like, what if Diane got kidnapped? What if Sunny's enemies kidnapped Diane or something like that, you know? And
that would
they
be.
could really bring Diane into a storyline.
What if
And because
Mason is her long lost son?
come on, come on. And then maybe he kidnaps her and he wants info on Sunny, and because they know she got all the information and she knows that she gave the son at birth because she was young and she's like, well, I was a young, strong woman trying to get into law school. I had to do my thing, and that would have worked.
Mm-hmm. They could
That would
still
have worked.
explore. He could find his way out of jail and
Or even, what if Mason came back and Sunny had to put on a hit out on Mason, and then Diane was her and Alexis had a conversation about the child she gave up at birth, and maybe we think, and maybe Diane says it's a girl to throw the audience off, so we don't even think it's Mason. But then she realizes, wait a minute, she has a flashback. It wasn't a girl, Alexis. It was a boy. And next thing you know, Sunny's getting ready to like off Mason. She's got to go save him because that's her son. That would
yes.
have been something. That would have been something. That would have been something right there.
And then Darby 13 says, after all these years of Diane being on this show, they never gave her a pass. Well, that's the thing about the past. You never know when it's going to pop up in the future. So that could still happen. That would be a real good storyline for her to be Mason's mother. I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, that would have been a nice little twist. They could have done something like that. They could have a nice little twist, and she had to save her son from Sunny, and then maybe um Sunny told her, I'm still gonna take him out no matter what. Diane's part of the business, and then Diane's like, well, I know where dead body's buried, and she blackmails Sunny.
Ooh, yes. That is juicy drama. Even
You
though
know, she goes,
she could be disbarred, though, for that, though.
she could, but she was like, if you decide to kill him, if you even touch me, and the first thing will happen is something will get sent to the invader first thing in the morning upon my death, and blah blah blah. That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. And then we could finally see a little bit of a rift between them. She could get this bar, but maybe she want to save her son in the process instead.
Yes, that would be a very good storyline. And then, what do you think about
Cody.
Billy firing Lily?
I just want to throw Cody back. Okay, okay. I'm feeling fine with Lily. The thing is that I feel for Lily. I feel for her a lot because she really wanted things to work out with Billy. And even though Albert was like, oh, well, she fired Daniel for unprofessional reasons, my whole thing was like, Daniel knew what time it was. And I feel like at the end of the day, Daniel and Lily have such a long history that it went deeper. But I feel like it's best because Lily, I knew that Billy was going to fire her. I knew it was going to happen. Like the thing is with the storyline, I want to see Mamie at the center of it because the Winters family they need a head of the family. They still don't have that established. But I feel like now it's time for her to go over to Winters Inc., whatever they're calling it now, and I want to see a storyline with just them. Because honestly, it is weird that Billy's like, oh, calling it Abbott Chancellor because technically Jill is a foster. She's technically not an Abbott. She was married to John Abbott. So this is really about Billy and his ego. I'm like, oh, Abbott's her name. No, Abbott is just your name, boo. And the Chancellor thing, I mean, kind of makes sense because Jill was married to a Chancellor. She was married to Catherine's husband, Philip. And Chance is a Chancellor. So in a sense, this is Chance's legacy too, because Chance technically is a Chancellor. His grandfather was Philip Chancellor the first. And in his weird way, Devon is like his cousin ish, not biologically, but through marriage of when Catherine was married to his great grandfather.
And LaShonda
So
told me. Tyrese, don't ever call Carly a tricycle. Liz has been with three brothers. Well, what you talking about? Well, so has Carly. Jason.
Drew, Agent, yeah, and
Right.
Jason.
So
We got you there.
what you saying? They're two tricycles. Now what? What you
Hmm.
got to say now, Lachanta? That's right, nothing. Crickets. I'm just saying. Diane can't be that old. Maybe Mason's sister. No, well, Mason's about 40. So that would make Diane, and Diane looks like she's about 60. So, yeah, that could work.
You guys remember the guy who played Julian Jerome and the actress who played Sam. They're only 4 years apart,
Exactly.
and
No
they play
wonder why
father
they
and
were never
daughter.
really written as father and daughter. I mean, they
And they,
were, but they never really bonded as father and daughter
you know,
because
what's a- go ahead, go ahead.
she's just as old as he is anyway. So maybe that's why she just never connected with him as her father.
What's the crazy thing is that Dante and Sam share a brother and a sister, right?
Mhm.
So, well, actually, no, sorry. Avery's Sam's cousin. But the thing I want
No,
to talk about
Leo.
is Leo.
Yeah,
No, they
Leo.
do share a brother, Leo.
Yeah, Leo and
Oh,
Christine.
and then Christina. Christina. So no, you're right. You're right. Christina.
Because
The thing is
Leo.
with Sam is that I never see them touch on her connection to Ava. I never seen Leo touch on his connection to Ava. I never see even what's the other guy's name?
Lucas.
Lucas, who he's on once every new moon comes in. We never see him touch on his connection to Ava. It's like Ava's just all alone on her island. It's the weirdest thing for me on GH.
I know, but Ava actually, but that actually does make sense because that was explained when Ava first came to town. I'll never forget that scene when Sam found out that her and Ava was related. Sam did reach out to Ava and said, "You know, we are family, right?" And Ava said, "Let me stop you right there. We may share blood, but we are not family. I don't care. I wasn't raised like that. I'm not really. I'm not for all
Damn,
that. I'm with like Julian is whatever. Kiki's my daughter, but I do not care not one bit for you as you are not my family." So Ava actually, so that was actually established years ago when Ava shut it down.
damn.
I'll never forget that scene.
Sam could have been a good ally for her.
Nope, Ava wasn't interested. That's because Ava didn't like that Sam was involved with Silas Clay at that time too.
Oh yeah,
So,
her baby daddy. Yeah, that's right.
so that's
That's
why
right.
Ava shut down. At least Sam made an effort one time, and then when Sam was like, and then Ava's like, "Oh yeah, of course." And then she said, "So you don't care anything about me at all?" And she's like, "Well, now, well, of course, but I'm just saying we're just not family or whatever." And she said, "No, because Silas Clay does have secrets." And then Sam's like, "Well, then tell me what his secrets are." And Ava's like, "Well, I can't tell you that." And Sam's like, "Okay, then we have nothing else to say." It's like, "All right, cool, bye." And they've just
Do you
never.
remember when they had on Silas's nephew, Rafe,
Played.
and he was in between Molly and TJ? I actually like that storyline a lot, to be honest. It was very heartwarming. I liked it a lot when they had on Rafe. When he was eating out the trash and Molly got him actually a good proper meal and TJ was jealous. It was a really heartwarming storyline. I really liked it.
And Betty has been deported. She is not Diane's daughter. She's just been deported. I made sure I got Betty deported.
Who could be
I,
Diane's child on GH?
I said Mason. That makes the most sense.
But like from who is currently on Spinelli?
No.
That wouldn't
I'm
even be Sophie. That wouldn't even, yeah, that would be boring. That would
They
another
would have,
Sophie
they would have
podcast.
a sweet, heartwarming moment we would all love.
Sasha, because we don't know who Sasha's family is yet. But then, is that even Sophie still?
It's not Sophie.
What do you think about Sasha and Cody and the whole Cody and Mac? What do you think about all that?
Spoken feedback is ready. Space. Unselected. Alert. Enable desktop notification
Okay,
power.
shut that up.
Menu. With 4 items. Press up or down arrow to navigate. Enter to activate.
Mm.
Anyways,
What do you think about Cody and Mac and Sasha? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that was anticlimactic. I mean, I get that the actor playing Mac had cancer, but I still don't
It
feel
didn't
like
play out the way you wanted to.
this is a strong enough storyline. That Mac is a strong enough character to really need a son at this point in life. I'm like, okay, y'all made it happen, but I'm like, all right, cool. because I knew that was gonna be the case from the beginning. So it would have been. I just wish it could have been written a little differently. Like maybe if Cody did get sent to jail for pretending to be Leopold, that guy's son, because they forgot about that part of the story. That's why Cody kept his mouth shut. So maybe they really should send Cody to jail. And
Right.
Matt pulls a Jason and is like, you know what? I'm putting down my badge. I want to get sent to jail too. I'm confessing to something I didn't commit. And father and son are teaming up in prison. Maybe that could be an interesting storyline of the future. But
Yeah.
I'm still just, I still wouldn't be all that. I don't see it. But I'm trying to find who could be Diane's son. Let me look at the cast of GH.
Dex?
Nah, he's not. That's still not soapy. That's not interesting. We got to think of someone messy.
But why wouldn't it be? Actually, it is Soapy because she works for Sunny.
Nah, but Sonny, even at this point, Sonny said, "I'm over it" with the whole Dex thing. And that was while he was still off his medication. So you know now that he's on his medication, he really won't care. But now I'm looking forward to the next scene between Sonny and Michael, because if you recall, Sonny's been hating Michael's guts these last months, but that was when he was on his partial dosage. So I want to still see, but he still hasn't necessarily apologized to Jason either. He's just back to giving Jason orders.
But
But
my whole thing is, people are like, "Oh, Sunny was off his meds," but like when Sunny beat up Dax, like my God, like that's not like Sunny. But I'm like, Sunny is a mobster, so how is that not like him to like beat someone or have someone killed? That's the part I didn't really understand in GH. Like, because here's the thing, like giving Sunny bipolar disorder, some of the things that he would do naturally as a mobster is also not that different from his symptoms. It's also not different symptoms of bipolar disorder. So I'm like, I don't really get it.
actually, but I'm still gonna search. Let me see who Diane's child is, and then Lashanta asked who's messing with Lois. Ian, what do you think about Lois, and who do you think's messing with her?
Every time I see that Heart and Harmony or whatever that is, I'm just like, okay, let's just get through it. Like, I'm like, okay, I don't care about Lois or Brooklyn or Chase.
Yeah, I don't care about Lois either. I think Lois should go back to being the trash of Bensonhurst. Um, damn
Lois
it.
needs to go back to LA and get back with Carter on B&B. That's what Lois needs to do.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no one on here on the cast. I just read the whole cast of that from there. There's nobody on there except for boring. But even like the Dex, that's not strong enough anymore. That would have been maybe at the peak of Sonny's thing, but now Sonny's back on his medication. He don't care. He'll be like, whatever. Yep, that's your son. I don't really care about him one way or another. So, like I said, Mason would be the only character that would fit to be Diane's.
Not true to be Diane's child. Come on, get out of here.
Please with that trolling comment. And then and then LaShanta says she can't stand Anna Devane, that hypocrite. Hell yeah, Anna is a hypocrite. She
Yeah,
is.
Anna is in a rock and a hard place. Um, she's wanting. I think she wants so badly to believe. Like, I think the thing is with Valentine, she wants answers from him first before she just ships him off to jail or have Sonny finish him off. She wants those answers first from the man that she loves, and that's why she's trying to hold off so hard, and she also doesn't want to believe it's true.
What was I gonna say about something? But one thing about Diane that I didn't like was remember when they try to act like she didn't remember getting Franco acquitted. She's like, because when she was going off about Heather potentially being released, talk about, oh yeah, no, this got started by you. I'm like, come on, that is ridiculous. That was ridiculous of how she would remember that. Like even I'm like, come on, that's a little. That was just a dumbass scene to stretch out
Right.
time of that thing. I'm like, there's no way she would not remember walking into the courtroom with a tumor in that thing. That's how she got him off. There's no way she wouldn't remember that. I just found that ridiculous. Beyond words. But yeah. Um. So, but before we conclude, is there any final thoughts that you had?
I have to say, I'm trying to think of what final thoughts I have. I just want to see the aftermath play out between Christina and Molly. That has been the best soap storyline for these past 2 weeks out of all the soaps. I gotta give it to them. So James really gave me something because when you have someone fall out of the building or fall out of a plane or those kind of things, the soaps when you go, oh snap, like what? Like even when Kristen got rushed to the hospital and she was in an ambulance, I was like, oh my god, I hope she makes it. I was literally feeling that. I was like, I hope she makes it. I haven't thought that way about GH in a while, where like it kept me out of my seat. And like this is how you write good storylines. And there's a whole aftermath that's still playing out. And even TJ's disgust for her, which is totally warranted. I think she totally deserved it. I'm really feeling the emotion of all these characters in the storyline. So GH to me has been the best soap, just because of that storyline. Was that storyline, it would not be good. But because of that storyline, it's been the best soap for me the past 2 weeks. I gotta
Oh,
give it to them.
yes, indeed. But yeah, this was a whole lot of fun. I
This was
really enjoyed having the legendary DC soap sanctuary up in here. But I'm gonna call this a night, and I will see my members on that. Oh yeah, and I won't be live streaming on Monday because I will be at Monday Night Raw in Providence, Rhode Island.
okay. Okay, what's that? What's that? Okay.
But I will be back. I will be back on Tuesday at a new start time going forward. Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I'll start my stream at 9:30, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Because remember when a few weeks ago I said I was going to that because I realized I've been like kind of in a rut in my personal life lately. So
What's been going on?
I just gotta free up because I
Okay,
gotta
talk about it.
free
Okay,
up
talk
my
about it.
schedule a little bit. Like so I think Fridays at 7 o'clock and then wrapping my stream up at 8. I can still go out on a Friday night and just just
Okay.
just get out there some more. Get out there on a Friday and on a Saturday. I'll still stream earlier on Saturdays and then on Sunday. But yeah, Fridays and Saturdays I gotta
So
just
someone else tying up the time. So is that what this is about?
we're just
Is somebody else tying up the time slot? Is that why?
turn
There's someone like I said, there's someone else in your life that's tying up that 10 o'clock time slot. Is that why
hello.
this might change?
No, it's just from night. Well, yeah, because I gotta do. I still got to like find that balance. I need to do my schoolwork. So starting my stream from 9:30, and then
Schoolwork
still,
at 10 o'clock at night. You sure that's what it is?
huh?
Schoolwork at 10 o'clock at night. You sure that's what it
Yeah,
is?
I'm gonna do some schoolwork at 10 o'clock at night. Well, 10. Well, no, 10 between 10:45 to 10 to whatever. I could just balance that out, and I'm gonna get up in the morning, go to the gym, Monday through Friday. I'm gonna get up at 5:30 in the morning, walk to the gym. I should get there around 6:20, and yeah, just going forward, I just feel that'll be better. And then on a Friday night, if I want to go to a bar or go wherever, then I should be free to do that. But even I want to go to this concert to see Sabrina Carpenter
But
on
you going to the concert with?
nobody.
So you just go by yourself?
You see, yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, should I really go to see Sabrina Carpenter by myself? I'm like, then see, then you say, you go, Kyrie's. We will be here when you are on. Enjoy your personal life 100%. Yes, indeed. I just got to get some fresh air and
I believe there's somebody else in the picture. It's giving Drew and Nina vibes right now. This air
Drew
of
and Nina.
mystery.
Okay, no, but there's nobody else yet. But just gotta
Yeah, so this is a work in progress.
if you say so. But yeah,
You haven't denied it. I'm kidding.
Clarice
I'm
trying
kidding.
to eat into, and then Darby 13 says Clarice trying to eat into someone's time slot. Don't get mad. Don't get who mad at you. What are you talking about?
We're talking about like Wait, Albert has what? Listen, guys, Kyrus has someone else in mind for that 10 o'clock time slide. It's not Albert, trust me.
I'm dead.
I'm just kidding, guys.
Yes, I'm gonna call this stream a night. This is lots of fun. I will see you all again. Well, my members tomorrow and everybody else Tuesday, new time, 9:30.